Imagine a creature that can live forever. I'm not talking about some mythical being or a character from a fantasy movie. No, this is real. There's an animal on Earth that has figured out how to avoid death altogether, and its secret might just hold the key to immortality. Today we're going to explore the fascinating story of the immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, and ask some big questions along the way. So sit back, because by the end of this video, you might start to wonder if living forever is really all it's cracked up to be. Let's kick things off with the basics. The jellyfish we're talking about, Turritopsis dohrnii, is native to the Mediterranean Sea, but has been found in oceans all around the world. It's tiny, no bigger than your pinky nail. But what makes it special is something that defies the rules of life and death as we know it. You see, most organisms, whether they're animals, plants, or even humans, follow a specific life cycle. We're born, we grow up, we age, and eventually we die. There's no escaping it. But this jellyfish does something incredible. When it reaches adulthood, instead of growing old and dying like the rest of us, it has the ability to revert back to its juvenile form. Essentially, it can hit the reset button on its life cycle and start all over again. Let me break that down for you. Imagine if, after reaching old age, you could somehow turn back into a child, go through your teenage years again, and repeat the whole process, over and over, and over. That's what this jellyfish does, and it's why scientists call it biologically immortal. But hold up a second. How is that even possible? What's going on inside this jellyfish's body that allows it to cheat death? The secret lies in something called transdifferentiation. That's a fancy term, but here's what it means in simple terms. The jellyfish can transform its cells from one type to another. When it's under stress, maybe it's injured, starving, or exposed to harsh conditions, it can trigger a process where its adult cells transform back into cells from its earlier life stage, turning the jellyfish into a polyp, which is basically a baby jellyfish. From there, it starts its life all over again. And the craziest part? It can do this as many times as it needs to. This phenomenon has fascinated scientists for years. Researchers are studying the Turritopsis dohrnii to try and understand how it manages to pull off this miraculous transformation. Some believe that by learning how this jellyfish controls its cellular aging process, we might one day unlock the secrets to human longevity, or even immortality. Think about that for a second. What if, in the future, we could use the jellyfish's ability to halt aging and apply it to humans? Instead of watching our bodies gradually break down over time, what if we could slow down or even reverse the aging process? Maybe, just maybe, we could live for hundreds of years, or even forever. But here's where things get interesting. Even though the Turritopsis jellyfish can theoretically live forever, that doesn't mean it's invincible. It can still be eaten by predators, die from disease, or fall victim to other dangers in the ocean. So while it might be biologically immortal, it still faces plenty of threats that can end its life prematurely. And that raises an important question. Is living forever really all it's cracked up to be? Sure, the idea of immortality sounds appealing at first, but what would life look like if we could never die? Would it be a blessing, or could it turn out to be more of a curse? I want you to think about that for a moment. Let's say we discover a way to stop aging in humans, allowing us to live for centuries. What would that mean for society? Would it lead to overpopulation? What about the emotional toll of outliving everyone we know? Imagine watching generation after generation pass away while you remain the same. Would life lose some of its meaning if there was no end in sight? I'm curious to know what you think. If you had the chance to live forever, would you take it? Or do you think the natural cycle of life and death is something we should embrace? Let me know in the comments, and let's get a conversation going. Now let's dive a little deeper into what scientists are doing to learn from the immortal jellyfish. You see, the research on this tiny creature could have far-reaching implications, not just for anti-aging, but for medicine in general. If we can figure out how the jellyfish triggers transdifferentiation, where one type of cell turns into another, it could revolutionize the way we treat injuries and diseases. For example, imagine if we could harness that ability to regenerate damaged cells. Burn victims might be able to grow new skin. People with heart disease could regenerate healthy heart tissue. Even those with neurodegenerative diseases, like Alzheimer's, could potentially benefit from this kind of technology. The possibilities are endless, but we're not there yet. The science is still in its early stages, and while the immortal jellyfish gives us a glimpse of what might be possible, it'll probably be years before we see any practical applications for humans. Still, the fact that nature has already found a way to defy aging is incredibly exciting. So where do we go from here? As scientists continue to study the jellyfish, they'll be looking for clues that could lead to breakthroughs in biotechnology, medicine, and perhaps even the extension of human life. But for now, the Turritopsis dohrnii remains a marvel of nature, a tiny creature with the incredible power to cheat death. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. The immortal jellyfish may live forever, but it still faces danger every day. It's not invincible. In a way, its immortality is more of a survival mechanism than a quest for eternal life. It's not seeking to live forever. It's just trying to stay alive in a hostile environment. Maybe there's a lesson in that for us. Life isn't about how long we live, but how we spend the time we have. Whether our days are numbered or we find a way to extend them, what really matters is how we choose to live each moment. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next fascinating deep dive into the wonders of the natural world. Let me know in the comments what topic you'd like to explore next. Maybe we'll dive into more strange creatures or look at the science behind other extraordinary phenomena. Until next time, keep wondering, and I'll see you in the next video.